What's up, fellow pipers? Nathan here, Midwest Piper 70. I'm here to do a VR for the fucking French-Canadian piper, Sebastian himself. Dude, you're awesome. Love your channel. I always keep up with you, see what you're up to. You make awesome tampers and awesome videos. So keep up the good work and congrats on the subs. And for your contest, you want us to tell you or show you one of our collections, and I decided to show you my collection that's behind me in a lot of my videos, my guitars. It's taken probably, I started collecting in '91 was when I first bought my first guitar. I had guitars previous to that, but they were my dad's. So the first guitar that I ever bought in 1991 is this American Standard Fender Stratocaster. Awesome guitar. They sell for new for about $1,000. So yeah, this is my first guitar, and played this for quite a few years before I ever ventured to get another guitar. So that's number one. Excuse me while I have to get up and change. I'll show you this one because this is the first guitar I ever played. This is my dad's Fender Telecaster. And I looked it up, I believe it was a 1974, somewhere around there. This was the last guitar he played on stage. He used to play in a local country band through the late 60s, all through the 70s, into the early 80s. They were pretty good around here, pretty big. Had pretty decent following, opened up for some big acts around the Quad City area. So that's the next guitar. Sorry, it's hard to get, I got them all hanging up, it's just hard to get to them all. This is another Fender Strat. This is a Mexican-made Strat. The other guitarist in my band bought this a few years ago, or a couple years ago, and just decided I play more blues. It's what I kind of raised myself on. But he decided to give it to me. It's kind of a trade, but I gave him a broke-down snowblower, and he gave me this for that, and he fixed the snowblower. He's happy, I'm happy. But awesome guitar. It's Mexican-made, but honestly, compared to my American Standard Strat, you know, it plays just as good. It's got great tone. It's a great guitar. So that's number three. Number four here. This is a 1983 ES335 Gibson. It's got some great wood at work on it. The back of the fretboard is darker than the body. It's really awesome. This thing plays like butter. I don't take this out and play. I played a couple years ago. I took it out one time to play on stage, but I just don't. It's too nice. I want to keep it home, keep it safe. The other Gibson I own is a Les Paul, and I believe I looked this up. This was like a 91 or 92 Les Paul. Ebony. It's the first Les Paul I own. This is the first Gibson I had bought. And I love it. Grew up on a Strat, so it's quite a bit different. A lot thicker neck. But an awesome guitar. This one gets saw at the stage quite a bit. I don't know if it will much longer. I'm getting to why I don't play this one much longer here. My number two guitar on stage when I play, and we don't play out a lot. We're just a small band here locally. I don't want to sound like I'm some kind of star, but this is a Schecter C1 Plus. And I love this guitar. It was a second. It's got a number 2 stamped right here below the last fret. Because it had some binding. There's an issue on binding up here. No big deal to me. I got it for a couple $100 off of what it would have cost new. But this thing has great tone. It's got a contoured out neck. You can see how that's kind of contoured here, so you can really get up here and bend and hit these notes, hit these frets. But this thing has such great tone, and it is mean. When you add distortion to this thing, I play it in what they call a drop C tuning, which is like Seether, Charvel, bands like that to play heavier music, darker tones. That's what I play this for. So anyway, yep, Schecter C1 Plus. Beautiful. If you can see look at that grain, that is beautiful. So that's my number two on when we're playing out. My number one when we're playing out is, I got this about, I think I've had about 2 years now. This is a Charvel San Dimas, made in California, and you got to get close to really see what this thing looks like. This body looks incredible. It's just beautiful, and it's just black on the back. This neck, I love it. It reminds me very much of a Strat, but it's got two different contours to it. So it starts out one shape down here, and it flattens out once you get up here. It's called a compound radius, and you can really get up here and play. So that is my main guitar on stage right now, and I'll probably take my American Standard Strat with me for a third tuning, so we do multiple tunings. Now this thing, I don't know how much you know about guitars. This has got a floater on it, floating bridge. So it's routed out down here, so I could bend up and bend down. So when you're playing, but I hated it. I didn't like it. You break a string and your strings are gonna go out of whack, out of tune. So I actually have a stop block on back here. I added a stop block, so I cannot bend it up very far. It'll go a little bit. But I'll never get another one like that again. Plus, I think you get better tone when the bridge when it's attached to the body itself. So anyway, the other thing we added was this Eddie Van Halen D-Tuna, and what that's for is when you're playing just in a standard, I can go to say my next song that we play is going to be in drop D, which is done by a lot of people. A lot of people do drop D. I just pull this thing out, and now this string went down. So anyway, that's a drop D tuner that I added to this. Makes it way more versatile. I remember when we first started playing, I had 3 or 4 guitars on stage, because you'd have standard tuning, you'd have drop D, you'd have a C, you'd have an E flat, which is Stevie Ray Vaughan does the E flat a lot. So this takes it down to just one less guitar I need with this one. So that is my Charvel. And the last one I'll show you is my Fender Acoustic. And I got this probably probably almost 17 years ago. And then I actually added in, we cut out the top and put in a tuner it's got mics, so I can actually plug this thing in. We added that ourselves, it didn't come with that. So it's awesome, got some great tone, great age. Guitars are my number one thing that I collect. Of course, I have pipes, tobacco, and music, and all kinds of crap. But guitars are a lot like pipes. I mean, I look at the grains, I look at the style, the shape. The tone is so important. You know, what pickups does it have? The fretboard. Whether it's the light-colored ones, or usually that's a maple. Usually this is rosewood. Usually. So that's it. That's what I collect. Of course, I have effects for them. I have different pedals. I use the Marshall half stack when we play out. And yep, so that's it. That's my collection of guitars so far. Been thinking about thinning down the herd a little bit, maybe selling 1 or 2, but it's hard. It's just like pipes. You can never have enough. Each one has its own personality, its own story, and guitars are awesome. Really awesome. So someday maybe I'll play something little for you guys, but we'll see. Hoping that we actually have written a song, my band and I have written a song, our first song together. I have some that I've written by myself, and we all have pieces and bits and pieces that we've made. We actually have a full song completely done, and we want to do a video for it. We have a green screen. We want to do a video for it. So hopefully I'll be able to show you YouTuber friends of mine that video when we do it. So again, that is my collection, guitars. So where are we at? 9 minutes, almost 10. Good. I didn't know how long that was going to take. The last thing you want us to do is to try to speak French. So I got on the computer, I found something, and I'm sure I'll butcher it, but hopefully I'm sure you'll figure it out. But Je parle très mal français bizarre. Can you read that? Yeah, that should be correct. Je parle très mal français bizarre. Hopefully you know what that means. So anyway, bud, congrats. Always fun to watch you, and we'll see you next time.